Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Brothers channel, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Under Armour HOVR Havoc 3. So of course, the main feature of the shoe is hover cushioning, which is super nice in the running shoes, but hasn't really been nice ever in any of their basketball shoes. It's going for 110 bucks, so if you guys do want to cop, I'll leave a link in the description box, and let's get it started off with the traction. So this is a very messy, chaotic type of traction pattern. They're using very thin lines though. And the rubber is very soft. And of course, I only played outdoors in this shoe. And yeah, durability not good at all. Especially here where the high wear area is, you know, like in the ball of your foot. The rubber is ripping off. It's ripping off, it's fraying off. So yeah, I would not recommend playing outdoors in this shoe. Indoors should be fine. Also, another thing is, there's not a lot of space in between these lines. So I feel like it'll trap a little bit of dust. But take it with a grain of salt because I did not play in these indoors. There's no indoor courts available right now. This is purely just an outdoor review. So sorry about that guys, just bear with me. And hope all of you guys are staying safe. But just like on my wood floors though, it did have a pretty good bite. So there's the traction there. And then also, of course, the performance on an outdoor court was really good. You know, you would think that most shoes or all shoes would have really good traction on an outdoor court, but that's not the case. There were some shoes that, you know, slide out a good amount, which sucks. But anyways, yeah, this I had no issues with. You know, the traction was actually really good. It had a good bite. So there's the traction there. As far as the heel to toe transition goes, very smooth. They did a good job here in the heel. You know, you have a nice curved shape, a very rounded shape actually, and then a nice curved shape here in the forefoot, and a good amount of forefoot flex. So very smooth, very fluid. It doesn't feel clunky or anything. All right, moving on to the cushioning. Yeah, it wasn't nice really at all. Okay, so when I was just walking around in it, you couldn't really feel it all too much. You know, the hover cushioning looks really awesome, and of course it's super caged here in the midfoot and in the forefoot. But once I started playing, I could feel the cushioning a little bit. You know, underneath my foot, like underfoot cushioning, it was actually pretty soft. So that was nice. But then once I was like going really hard, going up for rebounds, landing pretty damn hard, and doing very high impact landings, is when my foot really hurt. So cushioning is pretty nice, but then just watch out for really hard impacts. Hard impacts in the shoe are not comfortable. Also, another thing is the court feel is really good. Like you would think it's not because it looks very high up off the ground, especially here in the heel. But most of this is just acting as a sidewall, right? I would say your foot rests around like in the middle of this. So court feel was actually pretty damn nice. I really liked how low to the ground I felt. Also, another weird thing is whatever foam they're using here in the forefoot or as like caging is actually softer than this hover, which is like what the heck, right? So Under Armour definitely needs to work on making their hover cushioning a little bit softer. Like you don't need all of this. You know, it actually kind of feels a little bubbly here in the heel. Make it a little bit thinner and just make it a little bit softer, please guys. You know, in your running shoes, like in the Sonic and the Phantom, it was super nice in those shoes. But like in your basketball shoes, it's a little too stiff. Like of course, I would definitely take this cushioning setup over like Phylon or EVA. You know, like something super stiff like in the Kyrie Low 2s, right? But it's just like, it's not nice though. You know, there's not a lot of compression, there's not a lot of bounce. It's just like a little soft underneath your foot, and even the impact protection on hard impacts wasn't very nice. Like if you want something responsive and low to the ground, then this is a pretty nice cushioning setup. But if you want any type of impact protection or like you want to feel something from your cushioning, then you should probably look elsewhere. Alright, as far as the materials go, they're using a mesh material, but they fuse it up a lot in the forefoot and also into the midfoot. But I really like how thin it is. It kind of reminds me of like the Curry 2. You know, the Curry 2 was just like, it wasn't a very like quality material, but it was super thin, and because of that, it conformed to your foot very well, and it was supportive. And not only that, this fused material adds a good amount of durability. You know, like I guess I do a good amount of toe drags. I can see that there is a little bit of wear and tear here in the toe box area. Quality wise, it's not very nice in this shoe, but on foot, I was actually surprised. It's very nice. The tongue also, they did a good job. You know, there's a good amount of padding in it. It's a half booty tongue as well, so you have a better overall one-to-one fit as well as the tongue staying in place. And then in the ankle area, I would say there's an average amount of padding. So the materials, they definitely get the job done. If you're looking for quality, like a nice leather material or a nice knit material, you're not gonna get it here. Alright, moving on to the fit, I went true to size and this shoe fits me perfectly. It's pretty snug here in the toe box area, not too tight and not too loose. It was just the way I like it. Lengthwise, it was perfect. Widthwise, it was perfect for me as well. So like normal width to slightly narrow, I would say. If you have a wide foot or you like to have a shoe that fits like a little bit looser, then I would suggest going up half a size. Also, another addition to the shoe that I really like is this heel tab. It makes the shoe really easy to put on. Just slide it on, it acts like a shoehorn, and you're good to go. As for support and lockdown, I had no issues for lateral containment. Here in the heel, you have a very small internal TPU heel counter, and it's probably like around this big. But then you don't really need all too much. Like you have all of this here as far as the cushioning goes, acting as a sidewall. It probably comes up here into the midfoot and also into the forefoot a little bit. And not only that, but the material here is super supportive. There's absolutely no stretch. And that's also something I forgot to mention in fit. Like it doesn't really get any looser. You know, like comparing it to like the KD Tray 5.8 or like a shoe that has a mesh material or like a textile or a knit. Those shoes, you know, they kind of like stretch out over time. Or like in the KD Tray 5.8, it was just like, 1 or 2 days, it was just like the fit got a lot looser, right? But then in this shoe, it really doesn't. It stays the same fit. And as far as lateral stability goes, I had no issues. It's a very flat base, and you have the midsole and outsole protruding out here in the lateral side. There's really no outrigger, but you know, it's a nice, low, wide base. So I didn't really have any issues with like this rolling motion. Of course, this is a low shoe, so you're not gonna get any type of ankle support. But like I said, I had no issues because the lateral stability was good. All right, as far as the weight goes, I feel like this shoe is going to be super light, probably around 11. Yeah, 11.78 ounces, a super duper light shoe, very minimal feeling, especially here in the front of the shoe. The back of the shoe, like the ankle padding isn't that bad, but I feel like they should have made this part a little bit less bubbly. But for the most part, it isn't that bad. And another good thing about HOVR cushioning is that it's super light. You know, like Boost and Bounce cushioning, like Phylon and EVA, they're not super light. But HOVR is very light and didn't really contribute all too much to the weight. So 11-12 ounces is very good. And it's a shoe that you can feel quick in. You know, it's a minimal upper. The padding in the tongue and the ankle area is just how I like it. The traction is good, the material is supportive, so my foot was just locked into the shoe. So I really didn't have to worry about the shoe while I was playing it. Alright, as far as the ventilation goes, ventilation is not good. The shoe is super hot. There's absolutely no airflow through the shoe. I guess a little bit through these like cutouts, but also not really. And the tongue, there's really no airflow either. So there's padding in the tongue, and even though it is a mesh material. Moving on to the aesthetics, not a huge fan. I don't really like how the shoe looks. I guess I kind of like how they could do different, like cool different colorways as far as like here in the toe box area and the ankle area, like maybe like black and white or something. Those are some cool contrasting colorways that they can do. Maybe it's just this colorway that I don't like. I don't know, but I feel like I don't really like the aesthetics or like the silhouette of the shoe all too much. So tell us what you guys think of the aesthetics down in the comment section below. So wrapping things up, 110 bucks. This is a solid performer. I wouldn't say it did anything like out of the ordinary where it's like it excels in this category, right? But then it did every single category like very solid. You know, there was really nothing about this shoe that I didn't like. Besides, I guess, the cushioning, which, you know, I'm playing on an outdoor court, so obviously impact protection is a lot more important. But I feel like if I was playing on an indoor court, it wouldn't be as important because, you know, I don't really mind responsive low-to-the-ground cushionings with okay impact protection, you know? So if you're looking for a solid performer, then this is a great option. Obviously, I don't think a lot of people like, do you guys like this shoe aesthetically? So I don't think a lot of people are gonna choose this shoe because of the aesthetics. And of course, like 110 bucks, that's on the cheaper side of things. So it's a good deal as well as far as the performance goes. So yeah, this is a solid shoe. Like I said, just watch out for the cushioning. It's not very good on hard impacts. But anyways, that about wraps it up. Again, if you guys want to cop this shoe, I'll leave a link in the description box. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next one.